Today I'm ranking every shortstop from every team in Major League Baseball, from worst to best. Welcome back to day 5 of the 12 days of MLB rankings, where I go through every position and rank every player from every team from worst to best for the 12 days leading up to Christmas, where on Christmas Day I give you my top 50 players in the league going into the 2026 season. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on any of that content. Drop a like on the video, it really does help support what I do over here. And let me know in the comment section down below what you agree with, what you disagree with. That's the whole fun of this. Let's talk some ball. All right, let's get going into these rankings. Getting our rankings started at number 31. I've got Taylor Walls of the Tampa Bay Rays. To put it simply, Taylor Walls is just a glove for a shortstop, and the glove wasn't even that much better than some of the other glove for shortstops in baseball. Along with the fact that he had a second straight season of an OPS below 600, there's just not a whole lot of value for Taylor Walls playing every single day when the bat is that weak. So yeah, while he has a great glove, the bat just has nothing, which is why he comes in at 31. Next up at number 30, I've got Joey Ortiz of the Milwaukee Brewers. Ortiz, defensive first shortstops, one of the best gloves in the game. Last year, Ortiz put up 13 OAA at shortstop, which is extremely valuable. The problem is that at the plate, he fell off a cliff, a 593 OPS with a sub 300 on base, almost a sub 300 slug. He's definitely glove first, and I'd be interested to see how long he holds on to that position for the Brewers to see if they find better options. Still, at the plate, puts the ball in play, doesn't strike out, doesn't whiff, and plays good defense with good athleticism. There's value on a full baseball team, but ranking him against other shortstops, I have to put him at number 30. Next up at number 29, I've got Brooks Lee of the Minnesota Twins. Lee gonna get the shot to play shortstop every single day in 2026 for the Twins. That team is in full rebuild mode, and for Lee, while last season wasn't the greatest, there were some signs that Lee can be a great player for a former top 10 pick in the MLB draft. He finished the season with 16 home runs, drove in 64, and had a really strong month of June, which showed some signs of a good ball player. Brooks Lee is talented, he's good, but right now, just needs to see a little bit more, which is why I have him at 29. Coming in at number 28, I've got Nick Gonzalez of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Truthfully, I think he's more of a second baseman, but because of how this roster is, Gonzalez slots in at shortstop. Now, defensively, completely fine at the position, not a problem. At the plate, wasn't very good last year. Last year, he played 96 games, 5 homers, 18 doubles, 30 RBIs, hitting 260 with a 299 on base, 362 slug for a 661 OPS plus 84. You're kind of getting the vibe of what the players are down here, not complete players, and right now for Nick Gonzalez, next season is a big make or break it year for him. The bat has been good in the past, need to see it get back to there. For the 27th best shortstop in Major League Baseball, Cleveland Guardians, Gabriel Arias. Now, Arias was actually pretty good defensively and does things at the plate that are fun, like he hits the ball extremely hard. It's just there's almost no consistency with him at the plate. 11 homers, 25 doubles, 54 RBIs, 8 stolen bases. He hit 220 with a 274 on base, 363 slug for an OPS at 638, OPS plus at 76. I do like what we saw out of Arias. Again, he hits the ball so hard, so maybe if there's an adjustment at the plate, he could pop off. But again, this is a good glove with a little more power potential than some of the other guys, which is why I ranked him just a tad bit higher. I like the home runs, let's be honest. And then just missing on the top 25 at number 26, I've got Mauricio Dubon, now shortstop of the Atlanta Braves. Dubon was a utility player last year for the Astros, playing everywhere, but when he played shortstop, he was phenomenal defensively. Put up 8 OAA at the position last year, that's really good. While at the plate, not the strongest. Again, a 644 OPS puts you at an OPS plus of 78. He won the Gold Glove at the utility position. He puts the ball in play. There's no strikeouts in his game. That's kind of his thing. It's another glove first guy, and the fact that he can play a bunch of positions really well, that's really valuable to a baseball team. Getting the top 25 start at number 25, I've got Mr. Yankee himself, Anthony Volpe. Honestly, feel bad for Volpe. It's kind of unfair how people have been treating him, but truthfully, last year was a complete nightmare, and we do know that he had an injury last year, so maybe he bounces back when he's healthy, but the 153 games that we saw him play were not great. Now, counting numbers-wise, he's going to be decent in that Yankees lineup. 19 homers, 32 doubles, 72 RBIs, and even stole 18 bases, but a 212 batting average with a 272 on base, 391 slug for a 663 OPS and an OPS plus of 83. That's just not going to cut it, especially when defensively last year he was one of the worst shortstops in baseball. So I'm kind of bumping him up here despite having worse numbers than other guys because I think the injury is going to play into it. Just want to see what he can do in a healthy season because a former top prospect like this shouldn't be struggling as hard as he was. Not ready to give up on Volpe just yet, just might not be the best fit with the Yankees. Next up at number 24, I've got Ha-Sung Kim. Kim currently a free agent at the time of recording. He will end up on a team somewhere because he is a pretty good shortstop. Defensively last year was below average, but in the past we've we've seen him be a good defensive player. The problem is that at the plate, he just kind of fell off a cliff again. It was a small sample size, 48 games, but he was well below league average. He will get on base. He doesn't strike out a ton. And back in San Diego a few years ago, he had 17 homers, stole nearly 40 bases. If he can return to that player, obviously bump him up in the rankings, but as of right now, based on what we've seen from Kim going into age 30, little hesitant on putting him too high. For the 23rd best shortstop in Major League Baseball, new to the position, Andres Gimenez of the Toronto Blue Jays. Obviously, he was a shortstop prospect coming out. He's been playing second base the last few years at a Gold Glove level, and it now seems like the Blue Jays are ready to move him to shortstop after we saw him play that in the World Series. Now, at the plate, Andres Gimenez can't hit, just flat out can't really do it. 210 average, 285 on base, 313 slug for a 598 OPS plus at 66, but we do know that he dealt with some injuries. We have seen him hit better, closer to league average in the past, and I do think the glove is going to be really good. He looked super solid at shortstop, so yes, those numbers were horrible, but looking back on some previous years, I still think Gimenez is going to be a Gold Glove caliber shortstop with around a league average bat, which is why he gets ranked at 23. A little bit of a surprise here. At number 22, I've got Otto Lopez of the Miami Marlins. He got a full season of play last year and was like nearly a 4-win player. 15 homers, 21 doubles, 77 RBIs, even stole 15 bags. Hit 246 with a 305 on base, 368 slug for a 672 OPS plus at 86. Again, not great, but the glove, as you can imagine, is great. And that's kind of what all these guys are down here. Again, the one-dimensional players. He's a little bit better of a hitter, a little bit better of a fielder than most, so I felt like it was fair to put him right around the top 20 range. Nice little season for Otto. Without a doubt, the most disappointing ranking for me at number 21, I've got Ezequiel Tovar of the Colorado Rockies. Man, Tovar really was not good last year. He's still so young, only going to be 24 next season. But last year was a bit of a mess. Only played 95 games due to injuries, 9 homers, 18 doubles, 4 triples, and 33 RBIs. Didn't steal any bags, stole 5. Hit 253 with another sub 300 on base at 294, 400 slug for a 694 OPS, and an OPS plus well below average at 83. Obviously, the glove is phenomenal. Wasn't as good as it had been in prior years, but still is a good glove. He's still so young. I think the bat's going to turn around. He's a good hitter. It's just last year was a bit of a nightmare for the Rockies, top to bottom. So Tovar did have to drop a little bit. Getting the top 20 started at number 20, I've got J.P. Crawford of the Seattle Mariners. The reason for the drop has nothing to do with Crawford at the plate. He hit really well last year, a 111 OPS plus, 722 OPS on the season with a 352 on base, had 36 extra base hits, stole some bags. He's definitely an offensive first shortstop because defensively, he graded as the worst shortstop in all of Major League Baseball at negative 13 OAA. And this isn't something new. Crawford's defensive game has been weak according to OAA over the last few seasons. It's fluctuated quite a bit. It just seems like right now, he's having some difficulty at the position defensively. So while the bat was better than the prior year, the glove was just so bad that you do have to bump him down a little bit. Again, you'll see why. I think the guys ahead of him, they're all kind of relatively in the same range over these next 3-4 guys. But I do love that he gets on base, plays it perfectly. Slightly ahead of him at number 19, I've got Zach McKinstry. McKinstry did a lot of really good things last year for the Tigers, including playing a little shortstop, and he was completely fine at the position. He was adequate. He has a cannon of an arm, so it makes sense. And at the plate last year, he completely broke out, best season of his career. McKinstry played in 144 games, 12 homers, 23 doubles, 11 triples, and 49 RBIs with 19 stolen bases. He hit 259 with a 333 on base, 438 slug for a 771 OPS plus at 113. Made the All-Star team, won a Silver Slugger, and was fine defensively. I like McKinstry a lot. Dude's a really good ball player. Again, not one of the premier shortstops in the league, but the fact he can play every position, play them all okay, and hit it like he did last year, that's really valuable. For the 18th best shortstop in Major League Baseball, let's head out to Boston to talk about Trevor Story. Solid year for Trevor Story. Dude was clutch. A lot of big moments for the Red Sox down the stretch. And again, counting numbers wise, he's going to have all of them. 25 homers, 29 doubles, 96 RBIs with 31 stolen bases. The slash line's not great. It's not bad. It's just not great. 263 average, 308 on base, 433 slugging for a 741 OPS plus at 104. So yeah, he's a good hitter. We know that. In the field, again, one of the worst at the position. Injuries have definitely hurt his defense over the years. He ranked 92nd out of 95 shortstops at the position defensively last year, according to OAA. But the Red Sox don't care. Hit like he did, they're happy. This is a good ball player, and 18 is a fair spot for him. And then just slightly ahead of Trevor Story, at number 17, I've got CJ Abrams of the Washington Nationals. Was hoping for more of a breakout from CJ, but technically at the plate, it was like the best season he's had. 19 homers, 35 doubles, 60 RBIs with 31 stolen bases. Hit 257 with a 315 on base, 433 slug for a 748 OPS plus at 111. Again, the problem with him, not a good fielder. Butcher at shortstop. But he can hit. He steals a ton of bags, like CJ Abrams. Just can he play some adequate shortstop? It's kind of crazy. Right about the halfway point here at number 16, 15, I've got Dansby Swanson of the Chicago Cubs. There's nothing wrong with Dansby. He's an above average hitter, and he's got a good glove. And that's kind of the next group of guys that we're all talking about here. Dansby, 24 home runs last year, 24 doubles, 77 RBIs with 20 stolen bases, hit 244 with a 300 on base, 417 slug, 717 OPS for an OPS plus at 105. Good ball player. There's really nothing bad to say about Dansby. If he's hitting 20 home runs a year, playing the defense that he is, that's a valuable player. There's just so many good shortstops. This position is loaded, so he technically went down 4 spots this year. Because getting the top 15 start at number 15, a slight bump, I'm giving it to Mason Wynn of the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, Wynn is not as good of a hitter as some of the guys previously mentioned, but at the position of shortstop, there's almost nobody better defensively. He obviously has a cannon of an arm. His range is phenomenal. He makes every single play. And at the plate, he's a little bit worse than league average. I think we can all agree with that. Needs to improve there. But still, last season, 9 home runs, 27 doubles, 51 RBIs while stealing 9 bags. He hit 253 with a 310 on base, 363 slug for a 673 OPS plus at 90. But the glove is what we're really looking at. Mason Wynn is an elite fielder. He was only 23 last year, will be 24 next season on opening day. Bright future for Mason Wynn, especially with how good that glove is. For the 14th best shortstop in Major League Baseball, shout out the White Sox, gonna be their highest ranking, I think. We got Colson Montgomery. Montgomery played 71 games and was ridiculously good with the White Sox. 21 homers, 9 doubles, 55 RBIs. He strikes out a ton, like that K rate was almost 30%, but he gets on base too, so that's big. 239 average, 311 on base, 529 slug for an 840 OPS plus at 130. I just want to see a little bit more from Colson, because if we see this version of him for a full season, I mean, we're looking at one of the better shortstops in the game. Just interested to see what happens for a guy who has so much swing and miss in his game, how the pitchers adjust. Still, I do think he's a top 15 guy. I was also thoroughly impressed with how well he played the shortstop position. That was always a question for me. 2026 looks to be a very promising year for Colson. Down 2 spots at number 13, I've got Xander Bogaerts of the Padres. Never thought I'd say this. Xander, the bat-first guy who couldn't play shortstop, was opposite last year. The bat was league average, and he was great defensively at the position. 136 games, 11 home runs, 30 doubles, 53 RBIs, stealing 20 bags, the most of his career at age 32, which is hilarious. 263 average, 328 on base, 391 slug for 720 OPS plus at 99. Again, it's a league average bat with what looked like really good defense at the shortstop position last year. Got to give Xander some credit there. Made improvements, but you want to see him hit a little bit more. Come on, Xander, where's that bat? Heading out, keeping it on the West Coast, at number 12, I've got Jacob Wilson of the Athletics. Jacob Wilson is he's a ball player, guys. 125 games last year, was about a 3-win player. Hit 311 with a 355 on base, 444 slug for an 800 OPS plus at 121. 13 homers, 26 doubles, 63 RBIs. He played fine defense at shortstop. He's a really good player. Finished second in the Rookie of the Year voting behind his teammate, Mr. Kurtz. This is a franchise kind of player. Of course, I am scared about how hard he hits the ball and being so hyper-focused on contact, but also at the same time, he's so ridiculously good at it. Like, only striking out 7.5% of the time while hitting 13 homers, having nearly 40 extra base hits in 125 games. I love it. Jacob Wilson's a borderline top 10 guy, but just can't put him there yet. And then ever so slightly missing out on the top 10 at number 11, I've got Zach Neto of the Los Angeles Angels. If Zach Neto was better defensively, again, I look at OAA, that's what I use, that's what I value, and OAA-wise, Neto was one of the worst defensive shortstops in the league last year, -8 OAA. That's what keeps him out of the top 10, because at the plate, it's awesome. 26 homers, 29 doubles, 60 RBIs, 26 stolen bases. That's great from a counting numbers perspective. A 257 average, 319 on base, 474 slugging for 793 OPS and OPS plus at 117. The dude can absolutely rake. And it's his second straight season of having 5+ WAR according to Baseball Reference. Obviously, they don't use OAA for their WAR calculation, but clearly he's a valuable player, and I do think he's borderline top 10. It's just this top 10 is so loaded. Neto ever so close at number 11. Getting the top 10 start at number 10, I've got Willy Adames of the San Francisco Giants. It was a bit of a roller coaster year, but by the end of it, you look at Willy Adames this season, turned out pretty good. First player for the San Francisco Giants since Barry Bonds to hit 30 home runs in a season, 22 doubles, 87 RBIs, even stole 12 bags, hit 225 with a 318 on base, 421 slug, and 740 OPS for an OPS plus at 111, and he's got a good glove. I like Willy Adames. He started to get comfortable in the second half. Feels like someone who's going to have a really strong 2026 and be a big reason why the Giants will be pushing for a playoff spot. He's just a very talented player all around. Big Willy Adames fan. Down a few spots here at number 9, almost kept him out of the top 10, but it felt crazy. I got Mookie Betts of the Dodgers. Now, shout out Mookie. He's one of the all-time greats. The fact that he moved from right field to shortstop and played Gold Glove caliber defense this year at the position, it's kind of shocking. The problem is at the plate, he fell off a cliff. And obviously, he had some stuff going on off the field in terms of his health that definitely played a part in his poor performance at the plate. But still, he's great. 20 homers, 23 doubles, 82 RBIs, stole 8 bases, hit 258 with a 326 on base, 406 slug for a 732 OPS, and OPS plus at 104. I don't think we're truly seeing a Mookie fall off, and in the second half, he really was so much better than he was in the first. 784 OPS for 696. Still not back to that elite level that he once was, but with that bat, with that glove, with the defense, Mookie's still a top 10 shortstop. For the second biggest riser in today's video, at number 8, up 11 spots, Jeremy Pena of the Houston Astros. Pena's always been good with the glove, but last year the bat broke out and it looked so good. By far the best season of Pena's career, 125 games, 17 homers, 30 doubles, 2 triples, 62 RBIs, stealing 20 bases. Those were basically all career highs. 304 average, career high, 363 on base, career high, 477 slugging, career high, 840 OPS with an OPS plus at 132. And again, that glove is so good. Top 10 defensive shortstop in the entire league. Jeremy Pena broke out. This was the real Jeremy Pena breakout. He does this again. This is a clear and easy top 5 shortstop in the league. Again, loaded position. It's the first time we've ever seen him hit anywhere close to this. Do it for one more year. Wow, you're going to go crazy. Now, at number 7, we have the biggest jump of the year, Geraldo Perdomo of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Shouldn't have doubted our guy Perdomo. He had been a league average hitter, and last year was ridiculously good. He finished 4th in the MVP voting. Like, are you kidding me? Of course, we still have to take into account what we've seen previously, and the fact that I don't know how sustainable his hit profile is to get 4th place MVP votes again, but 20 homers, 33 doubles, 5 triples, 100 RBIs, 27 stolen bases, great defense at the position, hit 290, walked more than he struck out, a 389 on base, 462 slug, 851 OPS. He hit more home runs last year than he had in his career. Really good player. I hope Perdomo keeps up this production because it's honestly so big for the Diamondbacks. It's huge. And I like seeing a guy get better and better as he plays, and that's exactly what Perdomo is. But I am going to be a little hesitant still and keep him at number 7, not cracking the top 5 just yet, even though he's so good last season. Again, this position's loaded. Because at number 6, despite having a little bit of a down year, you guys can yell at me, I've got Elly De La Cruz. I can't quit this guy. He's just really good. And this is one of those where the numbers aren't going to support what I'm saying. These are my rankings. You can get mad about it. I think Elly De La Cruz is one of the 6 best shortstops in baseball. The speed, the power, the glove, the athleticism, it's unmatched. There's not really any players like it in the league. And the one that's similar to him is the best shortstop in the league. But Elly, 22 home runs last year, 31 doubles, 86 RBIs, 37 stolen bases, hit 264 with a 336 on base, 440 slug for a 777 OPS plus at 109. The glove did take a hit last year. It was down from the previous years where he had been an elite fielder. This is a vibes pick for me. Again, get mad at me in the comments, but Elly at number 6, I feel good about it. And if he has another season like this, I will drop him accordingly, I swear. Getting the top 5 started at number 5, I've got Corey Seager of the Texas Rangers. Seager, another one of these guys who later in his career has become a great defensive shortstop, seemingly out of nowhere. And of course, Corey Seager absolutely mashes. The problem is he plays about 120 games a year. So that's kind of a negative for him, which is why keeping him in the top 5, but at the number 5 spot. Last year, 102 games, 21 homers, 19 doubles, 50 RBIs, hit 271 with a 373 on base, 487 slug for an 860 OPS plus at 151. Not finding many shortstops in all of baseball who will hit as well as Corey Seager, and he plays good defense now. He just literally needs to be on the field more. That's why I can't bump him up on these rankings. Up 3 spots at number 4, Trea Turner of the Philadelphia Phillies. Trea Turner last year, crazy, one of the best defensive shortstops in baseball, 17 OAA. What? Where did that come from? Of course, Trea Turner's always been a great athlete, but defensively taking that step forward was huge because at the plate, he basically was what he is every year. 15 homers, 31 doubles, 7 triples, 69 RBIs, nice. Stole 36 bags, hit 304, which was the highest in the National League, a 355 on base, 457 slug for an 812 OPS plus at 121, finished 5th in the MVP voting, was a huge reason for the Phillies' success. Trea Turner is really, really good. Someone who, if he keeps this up, we're going to have some Hall of Fame conversations at the end of his career. Trea Turner's really good. Despite having a down season, at number 3, I've got Gunnar Henderson. It was obvious that missing spring training had an effect on Gunnar's season. And even still, Gunnar was awesome. And the Orioles kind of sucked, which was weird too. So I don't know. I still think Gunnar's one of the 3 best shortstops in the game. Can't really look past what he did the prior 2 years. and this was a down season for him. 17 homers, 34 doubles, 68 RBI, stole 30 bags, the most in his career. 274 average, 349 on base, 438 slug for a 787 OPS plus at 121. Again, if that's a down season for Gunnar Henderson, yeah, that's like one of the 3 best shortstops in the game for me. He'll be 25 next year. I expect him to go back to an MVP candidate player. I would love to say just missing out on the number 1 spot, but honestly, there's a huge difference. So just at number 2, Francisco Lindor of the New York Mets. Preparing myself for the comment section calling me a biased Met fan, but any way you slice it, Francisco Lindor is the clear second best shortstop in the league. Another season where he played 160 games, 31 homers, 35 doubles, 31 stolen bases, 30-30-30, 86 RBIs. He hit 267 with a 346 on base, 466 slug with an 811 OPS and an OPS plus at 129. And shocker, Francisco Lindor was one of the best defensive shortstops in baseball again, because he's got an elite glove, he's a phenomenal hitter, finished 10th in the MVP voting. That's pretty much all he's done since he's gotten to the Mets, is be a top 10 MVP finisher. Was it as good as 2024? No. Was it still an incredible season? Yes. And that's why Francisco Lindor is the second best shortstop in all of baseball. Because coming in at number 1, it's clear, it's obvious, the best shortstop is Bobby Witt Jr. of the Royals. What Bobby Witt Jr. does is crazy. Like, he is the best defensive shortstop in baseball. 24 OAA last year it's absurd. He has a cannon of an arm. He's one of the best athletes in the entire league. He can hit for power, and that's with absolutely no help in this Kansas City Royals lineup. Last year, 157 games, 23 home runs, 47 doubles, the most in baseball, 6 triples, stole 38 bases, drove in 88 runs, hit 295 with a 351 on base, 501 slug for an 852 OPS and an OPS plus at 136. Wasn't as good as one of the craziest years we've ever seen in 2024 for Bobby Witt, and still, he was that much better than every shortstop in the league. This is one of the best players in baseball, and it is clearly the best shortstop in the league. So there they are, my shortstop rankings. Let me know what you think about them down in the comment section below. I'm sure you disagree. I'm sure you all don't think I'm perfect, so let me know in the comment section what you're thinking. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the content coming at you, including the 12 days of MLB rankings. Follow me on all my social media, GiraffeNeckMarc. Links are in the description. We could talk more about my rankings there, and that's where I'll wrap it up. You guys know the drill from here on out. This is the most recent upload to the 12 days of MLB rankings, and this will be a playlist to this year's rankings. If you haven't seen them, click through them. I promise they're good videos. Thank you guys for supporting, as always. I do appreciate you. I'll catch you tomorrow for the left field rankings. On to the outfield we go. Bye.